Yeah. This one right here, y'all.
The train wreck. Good God. We open with, we see Morgan meeting with her friend Deborah. And Morgan goes in.
Yeah.
I have a problem. Binh never stopped talking to Justin about their issues daily. Alexis told me what conversations they were having. Justin would be on the speakerphone while he's talking to Binh, and she heard it. And it's just a mess. She talks about the conversation that I let him know that I know you've been talking about me, and so we get to see more of the video from the apartment in the black and white from just the cameras in the apartment. And she was like, you know, I threw out there, Alexis told me everything, and he kind of ran after me, like wanting to know what happened, tell me, talk to me. And she was like, I hit him. I hit him. I hit him, you know.
Abusive relationship. I'm calling it.
And then I kept walking and I left. I grabbed me some stuff and I went to my place. And when I left afterwards, Alexis called her and she was like, Binh is sitting right here beside me in my apartment. And so we get to see that too, you know, with them talking, and you've been saying this and you've been talking stuff about me and blah, blah, blah. But then she also says, you're doing it right now, talking to me in front. Like, what is he supposed to do? And
I have no problem with him going. If you tell me Alexis sold you something, what I'm gonna go do is go confront Alexis. Like, what did you tell my wife? Because you didn't tell me what Alexis told you. So I'm going as a man, as common sense. I'm going to Justin and Alexis' apartment, knock on the door, like, yo, what did you tell my wife? Because she gone. Let's have a conversation, because I'm mad at you for telling what you said, and then I'm mad at Justin for having the freaking phone on speaker, so my wife can hear.
I'm mad. Discussion. I understand that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Me and my sister talked about this. I'm mad at Alexis for running her mouth.
Alexis, give her the benefit. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on this. She did say she apologized. She said she regret what she did. She was on after party. Probably do something on about it later, but she did talk about being apologetic, and if she could do it again, she probably wouldn't. But she was looking out for her friend. But
guess what? First and foremost, you should address Binh, because Binh is the one talking. So she should have said to Binh, and she said, I don't know, in this space when he was in the apartment, on that video, she said right then, she said, I told him, like just now, I told him you should be talking to your wife. Which, she should have said that before. She should have said, Binh, you know, I wasn't trying to be in y'all conversation, but Justin was on speakerphone, and I heard you talking, and you really should be talking to Morgan about that.
But I don't have
whatever you got to say.
But the problem is this: she acted like the man can't vent. He has somebody to vent to.
Right.
He wants to vent with somebody that's in the process. He doesn't want to vent nobody outside the process. He doesn't want to vent with the experts. Somebody else is going through. He's found a sounding board, which is Justin. And Justin has become his sounding board. There's nothing wrong with having a sounding board.
It's not. It's not. It's not. And we touched on this before. Again, sometimes when you're venting about your spouse, it may sound like you're talking-ish, but you have to have somebody you can be completely transparent with and say those things like, don't be like Lindsay and rake your husband over the coals. Not saying that at all. It's a way that you vent where you're not dragging them. But you have to, he should be able to vent. And we're going to jump ahead. Her thing is, I specifically asked you not to talk to any of the other couples about the issues that we've been going through. Why? They can relate. They're in the same process. What are you being so, like, I expect you not to, I can understand not sharing intimate details. That's understandable. But to expect him not to talk to nobody, I can understand not talking about it in a whole big group setting. But why can't I talk to somebody?
But she talked about the issue in group settings. To me, I think she wants it one way. She talks to Alexis. That's her friend. They have conversation, right? They converse. You don't think she's talked to Alexis about some of the issues, or the other women about some of the issues? That's what you guys did. That's why they have all in this episode, this season. They have all these little group sessions that they've been part of, and talk about this, and y'all relate here, and we're having conversations. So he wanted to do a one-on-one with Justin. I have no problem with him venting, I have a problem with him venting this time. I'm gonna tell you why. My problem with him venting this time is that he already knew Justin has loose lips, and it got him in trouble the first time.
But this time it wasn't Justin having loose lips. This time it was Alexis listening in on their conversation because Justin had it on the speakerphone.
Right, but he should have listened this time and said, you know what? It's just me, Justin. Look. Don't go tell your wife anything. I need to vent to you. All right? Or don't.
But even if he had said that again, Justin didn't tell her it was on the speakerphone, and she was ear hustling, as a friend of ours would say. She was ear hustling.
That's just common courtesy. If I got you on speaker, you call me, I'm saying, yo, I got you on speaker, dog.
But yeah, I tend to think that they wasn't even in the same room.
You know.
That's what it sounded like to me.
And so, and then, you know, with Morgan's situation, it always came back to the BSN. She has not been able to let that go.
Before we dive to, let me finish this because we're getting there. When she talked to her friend, again, we see in the video, she FaceTimed Binh when she got on him about being in the apartment, even then talking to her. And she was like, I fussed him and cussed him out. She fussed him and cussed him out. So we already know to build, Morgan's on 10. She's getting over the 10. Her friend says, I feel like you closing the door. Like, what are you doing? And you were so excited going into the marriage, but I feel like you're closing the door already. And so that goes to more building again. Morgan is on 10. She goes to go do some Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she wakes up. It's our 1 month anniversary. I'm in my apartment and I'm not excited about the 1 month anniversary. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't want to see him, but I need to see him because I got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And she's basically like, he might got some surprise, but I got a surprise from Binh.
Mm-hmm.
I got a surprise for him.
She ready to give it to him. Though. She's ready to go in, and she had that the Ronda Rousey walk when she came up the street.
Oh boy, she was
when she came up the sidewalk. She was ready to go in.
She had prepared herself. She went to do the Muay Thai, and like she's in there like trying to get. I don't even want to say she wasn't even trying to get her anger out. She was doing it to get herself more angry. I think she was getting herself more angry, and they had plans to go back to the wedding venue and to re-say their vows. And she's like, I definitely got some vows for him. He do not know what's coming to him. And boy, did he not.
Calm before the storm, dog.
It wasn't even a calm before the storm.
It was just a storm. A storm was coming and he got no warning.
Because going into this month-iversary thing, he's like, I ain't talked to her. He said, I got a surprise for her. And he was like, I'm all happy about it. But he says, I'm not sure if she's still mad because I ain't talked to her.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I wouldn't have showed up, dog.
She won't talk. She has not talked. And I think he said this, like he's reached out to her and she's not talking to him.
I know that. And
meanwhile, she's been sitting there fuming and steaming. And
wouldn't have been no month-iversary. I'm going to tell you that much. I know they on the show and production made him do that. Wouldn't be no month-iversary. Wouldn't have spent a dime.
Like you said, she walked up with that. You call it the Ronda Rousey walk. It's called a BMF.
Yeah. She just walked, dog. She
BMF walk. She walked up there with a purpose. Like, she almost had her fist balled up. And he was like, hey, happy to see you. Here's some roses. And he was like, be careful, they got thorns. She says, yeah, boom. Threw him on the ground. I said, oh, snap.
She got the right one. Because he got good temperament. He has good patience. I dare you not. His patience is on 100%. He gets a grade A for me with patience. I'm a kind of patient guy. But he was patient to the point that he was foaming at the mouth.
I don't even think it was patient.
Remember,
But remember, let's look back. Ben said that he was used to accommodating.
Yeah.
Going back to being the only Asian in the neighborhood, he got picked on. So what he would do is he would overachieve and he'd be overly nice. So this is him being overly nice because his thing is, I just want her to be happy. I'm trying to understand what's going on. Like, he is in the dark. Again, she been sitting there fuming and hyping herself up to be mad. She been in there punching bags and in the ring getting all hyped up and that adrenaline pumping. And she came in there ready to go.
I know production can't get involved, but they should have told dude what he was walking into.
I felt so bad for Ben because he was like, and she was like, she threw them roses down and she said with her vows, she was excited. She thought she was getting a husband that would have her back at all times. But those vows she made was not for him. And he's not the person, the husband for her. You know, I'm giving you one chance to explain. You've been going to Justin the whole time. And when I would ask you what y'all talked about, you would say, oh, we didn't really talk about nothing when the guys met. And I asked you not to share my problems. You told me you didn't share the problems. And, you know, she was like, I asked you specifically not to talk about it with the guys. And he was like, but I didn't. But not only did you talk.
Hold on. She tried to give him one chance to explain, but would not let dude talk.
Would not.
Would not let him talk. Wouldn't let him get a word in.
He was like, and she would say something else. And
it was like you watching a parent scold their child.
It was
terrible. It was like a parent scolding their little child, and he could not say a word in edgewise. If you say one more, you say, and I felt bad for him.
It was painful to watch.
Wouldn't have stood there and took it.
It was painful. It was so painful to watch. She said that according to, you know, what came to her, that Justice said that Ben told Justin more than just the nurse thing. Alexis said that she overheard Ben saying that she's mad because my family is perfect. And this is what I said. But we know that's not true. I just don't, I think I was talking to my sister about this. I just don't believe that he said to Morgan, that she said to Justin that Morgan's mad because my family is perfect. Because he acknowledged my family's not perfect. That he's from an Asian family where if you don't do this, it's like you're not acceptable, like you're not really doing anything. Right. And he realized that I had daddy issues. I couldn't measure up with my dad. He wasn't, he didn't appreciate, didn't acknowledge what I did. So he knows his family's not perfect. So I just can't imagine him saying that. I feel like that was taken out of context.
Somebody's lying, though.
But my problem is, you're coming to him, telling him, Alexis said you said this, Alexis said you said that, Alexis said, instead of saying, so what did you say, Ben? And giving him time to say, this is what I said. When he tried to say it, she was like, stop lying.
And what he said was, let's call Alexis. That's when you want to, the way she handled this, you should have had all parties in the room. Alexis should have been in the room. Justin should have been in the room. Morgan in the room. Ben in the room. We're sitting down at somebody's kitchen table, and we're going to hash this out. This because again, he can't win here because she's going to believe Alexis over him because she has a better relationship with Alexis than she does with her own husband. So she's going to believe Alexis because Ben has defied her. Ben has broke her trust. Alexis has not done that. And so, again, bruh could not have said, he could have said the sky was blue, and she wouldn't have believed him.
It was just terrible. It was terrible. She says, you know, I've never talked to the other couples about our issues because I have respect for you, and you don't have any respect for me because that's the one thing I asked you not to tell. And then you didn't just talk to Justin, you talked to Miguel. And he was like, but I talked to Miguel because you brought up the people pleasing thing, so I asked him about the people pleasing. That's the conversation I had with Miguel.
Right.
And you know, they talked the trust was rebuilding, but now you broke it again. And I see you for the person you are. Any ounce of respect I had for you is gone. So enjoy the dinner on your own. And she storms off. I was like, good God. And he was standing there like.
The moment you go to your car and be like, good. Fine, because look, man. It's not to him, it's not a win-loss, and he's stunned, he's shocked to understand he's not used to this, right? He didn't know whether to chase after or stand still. Production really had to tell him, like, go after her. Production stopped her. He didn't know which way to move. She has him at a point now where he doesn't know where he's coming or going. He doesn't know what to do or what to say because she scared him that much. He doesn't know if I do. He's talking about a true example of somebody walking on eggshells. Dude is walking on eggshells. He does not know what to do.
Yeah, the producer catches her and tries to talk to her, and she's crying. She says, I'm crying because I'm frustrated. And she says he's not going to talk. Basically, he's not going to admit what he did wrong. So I don't want to talk to him. And I think we didn't see the producer say something to him, but I'm sure the producer did go say something to him. And so that's what prompted him to come talk to her. And she was like, I'm not getting ready to sit over there and talk to you if you're not going to own up to it. If you're just going to lie, I'm not going to sit over there and talk to you. And as soon as you start lying, I'm going to walk away. And he was like, all off the top, he was like, I apologize for everything. In his vignette, he's like, everything's been a nightmare for him. He was like, I'm darned if I do and I'm darned if I don't. I'm fighting an uphill battle. I don't know what to do. And so when they sit down and talk, he said he tries to explain himself, and he said I've just been talking to someone that I trust. I've been trying to vent and get an understanding because I don't understand. Maybe it's something I'm doing. He can't really ask her if it's something I'm doing wrong, because she definitely gonna say it's something I'm doing wrong. I can't get no ideas of what to do, right? Because you're not giving me a chance. I gotta talk to somebody else. And so he's like, I'm just venting.
He's doing everything. He's want to know. Again, I can imagine what he's venting to Justin about. I'm getting her favorite food. I'm doing different things in the house. I'm trying to romance her. I'm trying to break down walls down, but nothing's happening. How are you doing this with Alexis? Because again, goes back to the point. This is what a man thinks. They've always said that we are just alike. Morgan says she's like Alexis. Alexis says she's like Morgan. So Ben is using Justin because he looks at his marriage as being close to Justin. So he's saying, look, what are you doing to help Alexis get her walls down? Maybe I can do the same thing for my wife. And this is not working for me, Justin. How are you able to do this? And Justin may say, you know what? It's not working for me. It is a conversation going back and forth that they're having.
She was like, to me, it's when you go talking to him, even though you say you talking to somebody you trust, it's lying to my face. You're putting Justin in the middle of our marriage. And that's the one thing I asked you not to do. And if she dwells on the broken trust again, you've been talking ish about me. And, it would be easy for me to walk away, but I'm going to continue in the process. And this is the part that I was like, God, dog. She said, I'm going to continue in the process because I want you to see me show up. And I want you to see me every day and remember and know how much you've hurt me. And I was like, good God.
Manipulation at its finest. Revenge at its finest. She's trying to manipulate him to get back because a few minutes earlier, you ready to walk away. A few minutes earlier, you ready to tuck your tail and run. If I'm him, I don't go back to his apartment. If I'm him, I don't even finish this relationship. If I'm him, I don't even finish this man. Are we going to work it for us trying to get in a relationship and work it out? Or I'm just here because you're trying to be revengeful and manipulative. If that's the case, guess what? Deuces. But is she right about him putting Justin in the marriage? Yes, she's right about him putting Justin in the middle of a marriage. Should Ben have continued to talk to Justin? Probably not. Should he have talked to somebody else? Sure. All right?
She don't want him to talk to nobody. Because she even had a problem with him talking to Miguel. She don't want him to talk to nobody. I have a problem with that.
Then what it is, she's the abuser in the relationship, and no one says it, and no one's saying it, and no one's calling her that, but I'm gonna call her that. She's the abuser in the relationship because if it was Ben doing that to her, the internet will go off, right? Social media will go off because what she did was she hit him. And then she's trying to confine him, control him, and manipulate him. Because last season, everybody was going off on Elijah Wan for when he tried to do that to Katina. She's not any better than Elijah Wan. And I think that's the issue right there. She is going off just as if the roles were reversed, it would be a big problem.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with it when you talked about her being the abuser.
She is. No, the words, the manipulative language, the way she undressed that man in front of all the production, and now in front of America. That's bad.
Yeah, no. But what I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna go in the direction with her being an abuser, talking about how she wants to control the narrative. Like she doesn't want her inadequacies to be exposed. That's why she don't want to talk to anybody. She doesn't want, because that's the one thing she said, that Alexis was like, I'm listening to him talking and I have a relationship with you and this is not the same person I see. Honey, Alexis, duh. As a girlfriend, you're not going to see the same person that you see in the marriage. You're not going to see that person because you're not married to her.
Yeah.
And so that's what I see as, that's what I thought you were going with the abuse part, because she's trying to control the narrative, and she don't want him to talk to anybody because she wants to maintain a certain image.
True. Which
is actually not her, because she's a freaking bully. Oh. She's a freaking bully. She really is. I felt so bad, and Ben is so, and I don't mean this in a sissy kind of way. He's so tender and he's so soft and caring and kind, and she's taking advantage of that. Just like I said before, take that man off the cross. Take that man off the cross. Her friend said it. His friend said it. How long Pastor Cal said it. How long you gonna hold this against my man? Good God. He said, I apologize to everybody. And her thing is, but you apologize, but you went and did it again. But, again, who's he supposed to talk to? You won't let him talk to nobody. Come on, that's a problem.
But now she wants to talk to the experts. But I blame the experts, too. Maybe they should be more involved and more accessible. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what she said.
He had the opportunity to talk to them.
Yeah, that's what she said. You know, the next 4 weeks, he was like, is the next 4 weeks to decide if it can work or what? She was like, I don't know. You know, we'll have to talk to the experts and see. I'm emotionally exhausted, and I need to take the time to think about where I am and what I want. And we see Ben going to the honeymoon suite alone. I was like, this is pitiful. And there their basket is. Their basket with their vows and their pictures is sitting there. And I was like, he had the room set up all nice, or production helped them put the room all together all nice. And I mean, he just went in there moping. Like, he didn't cry. I said, it's like Friday. He gonna cry when he get in the car. He was so beat down, like that. It was just terrible. I felt so bad. He said, I was just venting to Justin. You know, trying to, it feels like I got punched in the face today. And, when I tried to defend my case, I couldn't. And the producer's like, so are you going to stay or you leave? He's like, I'm not staying here. I'm leaving. And I just want her to be happy. I want to be happy. Like, overall, Ben is a happy-go-lucky person, and she is bursting his bubble every chance. It's terrible to be the upbeat, the happy person in a relationship. And I'm going to just flat out, Morgan should not have been matched. I don't know what she said or I don't know how she portrayed, but she has some terrible, deep-seated issues that being married to a stranger is not beneficial. She should not.
They failed Ben.
She should not have been matched.
Yeah, they failed Ben on this one. They did. It's not good.
She should not have. It's at least 2 people on here, I'm going to say, that we've seen their issue to the point where I don't think Lindy should have been matched either.
No.
But Morgan, definitely.
But Lindy has a person that can handle hers. And Morgan doesn't.
And I think the other thing with Lindy is I think she's a little more cognizant that it is an issue, and Morgan's a
fighter, so she's gonna fight. Morgan's a fighter, she's gonna fight, and that's fight verbally, fight physically, whatever case may be. She's a fighter.